What is up, people? Another Thursday, another Haxe related video, and today we're going to talk about reflection. So if you are not from a C or Java programming background like I was before, reflection in programming sounds a bit weird. And it's not necessary if you're using JavaScript, because you can kind of get away with manipulating stuff without the reflection API. Even though it does exist in JavaScript, you don't necessarily need it. And yeah, so let's get to it. Reflection is basically manipulating a structure or a class at runtime. And I think with Haxe, the manipulation of classes with the reflection API is a bit limited. So what I'm going to do is show you how to use it on an anonymous structure, or an object as it's called in JavaScript. And you probably wouldn't need to use this technique that much. It's quite useful in specific scenarios, but I'll just show it to you nevertheless, because I've used it in games and it might come in useful for you as well. So first, let's create a new file called reflection. As usual, ignore this, you don't need this. It's just something that I have for Python reasons. But anyway, so I've got my new file reflections here. I'm going to make a final class called reflection, and then what I'm going to do, I want to initiate this class. So I'm going to have a public function new, okay, with nothing in it. And then what am I going to do? That's my right function. That is not how you write a function. It's new with that. Cool. Something seems a bit weird. I spelled function wrong. No? There we go. The colors look correct now. So we've got our empty constructor here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain what I'm going to do first before I do it, is I'm going to have this data, right? Sorry, final. So imagine you have this external data. So this is coming from a, let's just say, a level creation software you have. It gives you information in this format, and say you've, I don't know, put a few shapes in there, right? So you've got a circle, and it gives you some coordinates, just random numbers, X and Y coordinates that come exported from that software. So you've got a triangle as well, similar to that. And then you have a few other bits of detail. So you've got a file name, I don't know what that would be, test, whatever, and the name of the user who made it, so Alex test, right? So this is all data that's coming externally from a program, and the aim of what I'm going to show you is to manipulate this data that comes externally, so that it can be in a readable format. So something like this. So you want circle to look like this with x coordinate, which is 3, 4, 2, and okay, and the y coordinate, which is 2, 3, 4. So basically, every single array that you have, you want to manipulate it to a new object or new structure to have x and y coordinates, so they're easier to read for whatever game or program you're doing. So let's get rid of this, and let's write this manipulation function. So we'll make it public. Sorry, manipulation method, because it's in a class. And we'll call it manipulate data. Manipulate data. There we go. So as you've noticed, I haven't done anything to do with types, purely because, number one, the type inference in Haxe is quite good, and also this is going to be fairly complicated type-wise. So I don't want to spend a lot of time writing custom types, so I might pull a few tips and tricks here and there, but it's for the purpose of showing off reflection and not anything else. So what we're going to do is have a variable to show our formatted data. So what this is going to contain is an empty object at the moment, and this is what we're going to return. So as you can see, I haven't put any types here, don't worry about that, it'll figure all that out. It's going to return this data once it's manipulated it. So let's write the manipulation information here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the reflection. So let's make a final variable called field. And we're going to use a reflection API, which comes inside Haxe already. Sorry, not reflection, just reflect to grab the field of the information. Field, capital with an S. What we're going to do is the data, which would be this, will be passed into here, and we're going to grab all the fields. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this step by step. This is fairly complicated, and it might be a long video at the end, but I'm going to show you step by step what it's doing so you understand. So let's trace what's in fields. And then I'm going to save, grab all this data, whoops, and put it inside the main here. I think it goes in here, or does it go in here? Let's put it in here, be a bit safer. So we've got the variable there, and we're going to final reflect, that's how you spell it, reflect class, and that's going to be a new reflection. I don't know why it didn't autofill that. This is why my spelling is not so good, because it's not, the autofill isn't working. But anyway, so it's got that new reflect class, and then we are just going to trace. Actually, no, we're just going to run it. Manipulate data. There we go. Perfect. Because it is not public. It is public because I haven't passed anything in. Extra data, external data. Sorry. So that's in there. Cool. So when I run, let's clear this. No, there we go. Haxe build whatever. Okay, so what it's done is it's got all of the data from here, just the keys of this structure, and put them as arrays of strings. So I've just got the keys. So now what we're going to do is loop over each of the keys and check what type they are. So for field in fields, we are going to check. We're going to get the value. So we're going to use another reflect API thing. We're going to use the reflect get property method, and that needs the field, the data that we're going to use. So this is the original data, and it's going to check the field. So basically, what this is doing is if this was JavaScript, it would basically be doing external data circle, whatever, like that. So it would be getting each of the entries and then getting just the value from them. So that's what this is doing here. So it's going to get the value from each of them, and then what it's going to do, it's going to check if it's an array. So we're going to use the standard is method. I'm going to say value. So value is array. This basically checks if a value has the type, and it returns a boolean. So value is array, it will return true. And then what we want to do is have new value, which I probably should have had a new value here. New value, which we're going to make equal to value. This is all going to make sense. I'll explain that a bit. Wait, it's equal to value, and we'll have new value. Where does circle come from? New value equals x value, which should be an array, 0, and y value 1. Okay, save. Okay, something it doesn't like. What doesn't it like? So this is reading as an unknown array. So what we're going to do, because it doesn't know type, so it's freaking out. It's like, what type is this value? What type is this new value? I don't know what you're doing. So we're going to cast it. So let's make final casted value. Casted value. Now we're going to cast it to an array of integers. Okay, which we cast value here. There we go. Now okay? So we're going to replace value here with the casted value. There we go. So it's a little trick to give it a one benefit of cast, I guess. Okay, so we've got that. Now, like I said, we're going to go through step by step. So what should we do next? Okay, so now we're going to get the new value and apply it to this formatted data. So each new value, each field is going to loop through this thing, and it will assign new field to value. So it's going to go through each of these and assign this to that, right? If this value is an array, then whatever's in here before is going to replace with this stuff. If it's not an array, it's going to leave it as normal. So let us test that out. Oh no, but we have to apply it to this first. So let's do this really quickly, and then we can test that out with the console log. So we're going to do reflect set field. I'm going to say you, formatted data. We're going to add a new field to you. That might have to be in the loop. Yeah, it's in the loop. So each time this loops, we're going to add a new field to you. This new field will be called field. So it will have the same name as what it had before, and the data will be new value. Cool. So it's looping through you, each field, so you're going to add a new field to here, going to add the new value here. Okay, so let's see what that actually looks like. Formatted data, grab you, put you here. Now everything should be saved. Moment of truth. Run, boom, there you go. So it's gone through all the data that we put here. It's converted all the fields to strings, sorry, an array of strings. It's gone through each field, checked if they're an array, and if they are an array, it reformats it with a new value and adds it back to our formatted data and does it for each field. If it's not an array, leaves it as is basically. And the beauty of this is I can add another value into here, so a square, and then don't have to worry about changing any code. Apart from that, it will update it. And yeah, I hope you found this useful. I've only kind of touched the surface of reflections. You can do way more with that, and don't think I'm some kind of guru. I've run through this before. I've got notes that I'm looking at. It's difficult to memorize all this stuff, so feel free to check out the API for reflections. I will put that in the description, and yeah, thanks for watching. If you found it useful, subscribe, like, and I will see you next Thursday if you're a regular watcher. If not, I'll see you whenever you watch these. Bye.